Forget about getting paid by your social media platform, because this is how you make the real money. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to monetize any social media platform. The best part is that when it's up and running, it will only take 2 to 3 hours of your time per week. The ROI of this strategy is insane. Guys, when I found out about this, I had to bring it to you ASAP. Although I will be starting a series on how to monetize any following across any platform, I was absolutely blown away by the potential of this, so this is where we start. All right, are you ready? Newsletters. Sounds boring, right? Who cares? We're all here to make money, period. We want to replace our corporate slave careers, level up our income, and increase the revenue of all of our businesses. Listen, I'm not talking about writing long essays to nobody. I'm talking about building a monetized email system across all platforms that you have that you can grow and monetize with any size audience. So in this video, I'm walking you through how newsletters become money printing machines, how to set yours up even if you're starting from scratch, a step-by-step walkthrough on the exact automations, forms, surveys, and growth tools I use, and how you can start monetizing without a huge list. Most creators focus on what everyone else can see. Reels, tweets, posts. I don't care about any of that. There are tons of other YouTube channels that will teach you about how to post or when to post or how to edit your videos. I'm here to bring you every process and strategy to build your back end. Your newsletter is where that back end begins. It gives you direct access to your audience. You see, when you have a social media presence, you're working on rented space. At any time, your account could get shut down, locked, or shadow banned. Plus, and this is the most important thing, they get a piece of everything. I'm going to turn you into owners, not renters. Digital real estate is the future. You can promote your own products or services. You can sell ads to sponsors, even at 1,000 subs. You can get paid passively with newsletter boosts. You can run paid subscriptions, digital downloads, even communities. All automated, all in one place. So let me show you how I'm doing it step by step with Beehiiv, the tool that powers my entire system. If you want to set this up, which every part of me is keeping back from screaming at you that you should, I got you a free month and 30% off the first 3 months by clicking my link in the description. Now here's the part that I can't wait to tell you. Remember, you are an owner now, so there are 5 high leverage monetization strategies for your newsletter. Don't forget about Morning Brew, The Hustle, and Industry Dive. I think you're starting to get where my mind is at now. The first way is direct sponsorships. When you have customers and customer demographic data, you can combine that information you collect along with the engagement metrics to leverage into direct sponsorships. I'm talking about someone paying you $10K just to put their logo in a newsletter you put out one time. Sure, typical newsletters have general demographic data, but stick around and I'll show you how to get important customer data that can be used to leverage into higher sponsorship amounts. There's literally a marketplace where big companies such as Nike will come and look for newsletters to sponsor and give you an offer, all direct in Beehiiv. 0 meetings needed, you can just accept the offer and pay through Beehiiv, taking 0 of your money and leaving you with 100% profit. Second, in Beehiiv natively is something you call the Boost Network. That means that every single time someone subscribes to your network, they get the opportunity to subscribe to another promoted newsletter. These newsletters pay $2 to $5 for every subscriber. More on that later. Third, as you develop your brand and expertise, you now have a funnel to direct people towards digital products or services. I'll break it down step by step how you can use psychology to make tons of extra money per subscriber in addition to buying what you offer. The fourth way is a bit more straightforward. This is with paid subscriptions. I'm talking about having a private community with tons of digital resources you create once and upload, offering tremendous value to your subscribers. Templates, courses, community access, live streams, walkthroughs, private videos, these all provide value for free and provide value for money. This is how you keep increasing your revenue per subscriber. Finally, referral programs. I'll show you how you can provide value through referrals and how that equals more money to you. Remember, the sole goal of this newsletter is to increase your revenue per acquisition until you can afford to pay for ads to blow up your newsletter and end up net positive. I'm talking about running ads, blowing up your subscriber base, and still be making more and more money. Like I said before, after setting it all up, we're talking 2 to 3 hours per week of work. Maybe more here and there to create digital resources to improve the value provided to your community, but this is seriously passive income, which is what we all want. Realistically, in 2 years, I want you to be making $100,000 minimum per year from just this alone, on top of all of the other monetization strategies there is from having a personal brand, which I'll be covering in future videos. So don't forget to subscribe and turn that notification on, because every day you go without this information is less money that you're gonna make in the long run. Before we get into the step-by-step walkthrough of this newsletter, I wanna show you the growth tactics I'm using right now and what I'm planning in the future. I want you to reframe your mind around this newsletter and see how the ecosystem all comes together. First, I have this YouTube channel, which I will continue to put out a ton of quality content on in this platform. I'll use these videos to create exclusive content, walkthroughs, and resources for my newsletter subscribers to entice my YouTube viewers to join my newsletter. This is you. Join my free newsletter. You will seriously not regret it. I also have an X account where I post 2 to 3 tweets per day with the link to my website, which is essentially a funnel for subscribing to my newsletter. As I build engagement in my account, I'll be able to get more and more people to join my newsletter every day. In the future, I definitely have some plans. To have an optimized Instagram account where I do short form content on current AI tools that help content creators and have my website in my bio. I'll push viewers to subscribe if they are interested in my content and will bring value that way. I will also have a TikTok where I do pretty much the same thing. Finally, I'm gonna run boost ads where I pay for subscribers using the Beehiiv platform. Now, all of that should keep me pretty busy until I'm ready to explode in growth, which will be another video. Okay, so again, I want to mention that if you use the YouTube link in the description below to get to Beehiiv and subscribe that way, then you will get 30% off your first 3 months and a free first month. So keep in mind, there is a free tier that you can stay on, but it doesn't have automations, and the amount of time that you'll save through the automations is very, very worth it. So you can forget about the free tier in my opinion for now, but there isn't a better deal anyway on the scale tier, which is something that I'm gonna recommend you use here. It's definitely the move. So here we go. We're in the dashboard right now. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I know you guys are pretty familiar with how to use dashboards in general. This is going to be where your metrics are. If you are not familiar with analytics or how to analyze this stuff, check out my last video where I create a AI agent expert that will be able to do analysis for you. And you'll be able to just plug this information into your AI agent and it will be able to tell you all the interpretations of that data. So pretty valuable stuff, but for here, I want to skip this. I want to not make this video too long. So on the left side here, we have start writing and post. When you start writing, you create some like either a newsletter or a post or both. I recommend you always do both. So every Tuesday, I'm gonna send a newsletter to my subscribers that's gonna have all this valuable information based on all the knowledge and research that I spent the last entire week delving into. You know, I make YouTube videos every single week. I have Twitter posts every week. In addition to that, I'm gonna start creating Instagram posts as well. So I'm just like really deep in it with the knowledge and always researching. So there's a ton that I can learn in a week that I always provide to my newsletter subscribers. So when you do send that newsletter out, you have the ability to put it as a post. Now this Beehiiv platform has its own website webpage where your posts are located. I recommend that you take these posts and make it so that you need to be a subscriber to see them. That will drive up your subscriber rate, and it will also keep your posts around for people who subscribe later, because all of your posts are gonna bring tons of value to your subscribers, right? You're not gonna be putting out anything that's crap or less than the best that you can do. So there's a lot of value that can be had that miss out on otherwise if they subscribed at a later date. So every single one of my newsletters, I'm gonna send out weekly, and I'm also gonna create it as a post so that people can view it later on the Beehiiv platform. Here in the audience section, we have the subscribers. That's a list of all your subscribers, right? Segments, I'm gonna skip for now, and we're gonna go straight to subscribe forms. A subscribe form is the different forms that subscribers will use to actually sign up for your newsletter. Now, this is important because when you have a certain workflow that you want to put a subscriber in, like all my information that I send you, I don't just give you a dump or open you a Google Drive link where you can just, go through it and hopefully after enough time searching through, you find the information you need. I put you, based on the input that you give me before you subscribe, into a certain workflow that will give you the information that you're looking for. So, for example, I have a video where I talk about the prompts that I use for an alternative Poppy AI workflow. And what that does, when I say comment prompt below, it will allow me to give them a certain link to have them sign up directly into the prompt form. Now, this prompt form is gonna let them subscribe to that particular workflow and is going to send them emails that will give them the information that they are looking for. It will also put them in my general newsletter subscription list, but first it will give them all the information that they need. Now, as you can see, there's different descriptions of them. This is the description that would be at the top of the form. And then this is what the name of the form is for me. So for the sake of this video, we're gonna look at the AI Toolkit series just because it's the one that's the most complex. So we have this form that a subscriber would access based on commenting toolkit in one of my posts. I'd send them a specific link to my website that is an unlinked page that just has the form on it. So they go that, they get to the form, and then they enter their email address, and it puts them right into this workflow that for the next 7 days will send them pieces of a huge toolkit series that they can use to drastically upgrade their content creation game. So after the subscribe form, I actually have a survey that they fill out. Now this is huge and underrated, right? A lot of people don't have this. But in my opinion, it is a huge missed opportunity if you don't gather demographic data on your subscribers, right? You want to know who they are so that you can give them the best information possible. And when you use this as a overall depiction across all your platforms of who your audience is, then you can tailor your information to be an even better content creator, to create the content that drives the most value and helps out your subscriber base as much as possible. So in the subscription survey, I have a few questions. So let me zoom in here. The first question, what's your first name? I don't really care. Not trying to gather like their government ID. It's really just about having it as a separate line on a spreadsheet so that I can use it almost as a number, identification. This is where the real metrics begin. When is your birthday? You're gathering how old your customer base is. That's huge. You know who your demographics are, and you can use this later. And I'm gonna explain that in a second. What best describes you? Here we have, what are they? Founders, investors, employees, freelancers, students, retired. You're trying to figure out, who they are, what they do in their day-to-day life, right? And then on top of that, what department are they actually in? Are they engineers? Are they in design? Do they do content? Are they IT, or are they people employees? So that's their primary skill set. So I want to know, what are they doing with their time? What are they doing that I can help them with? Hopefully a lot of people pick content because I put out a lot of videos about content creation. And then this is a huge one just for me in general. I just want to know what they're looking to accomplish in the next 12 months. I have a 12-month roadmap for myself for the content creation, how I'm going to continue to progress and bring better quality content that derives more value for my subscribers, whether it's on YouTube, X, Instagram, or here in the newsletter. So it's good to know, what is everyone looking to accomplish? And then in 12 months, I plan to follow up with every single subscriber and be like, okay, you said a year ago that you wanted to accomplish this. How are you going on your goals? I feel like it's a really good way to stay in touch with your subscriber base and also understand, how things change in a year, the vision of the people that are in your audience. So that's surveys. You can do a ton of different surveys. There are a lot of options, obviously. But I think that this subscription survey that's right at the beginning is the highest likelihood of you to get engagement and commitment from your audience. So this is the best time to put it. So right after they subscribe, it gives them this option to fill out the survey, and then they can do it if they want, and it just gives you a little bit of extra information. Now, one of the reasons why this is hugely valuable, you can take this demographic data, bring it to a sponsor, and show them exactly who your audience is. This sponsor is gonna have huge analytics teams. They're gonna know exactly who they're looking for to be able to sponsor. And when you have this information, you can negotiate for more money, and you can make sure that the sponsor that you choose is going to give the most value to your subscriber base. So it's a double-edged sword, right? You're gonna make more money and you're gonna give more value. And that is always the goal that we are looking for when I make any of these videos for the future and in the past. So we're always trying to do the most that we can for our audience, and then we're trying to benefit the most from our efforts. Let's get into automations. Now this is the bread and butter. This is the thing that, man, I love the most. So we're gonna go to the AI Toolkit series. As you can see, I got all 3 subscribers are actually in this AI Toolkit series. These 4 are all just me testing, so I didn't get any, but into the prompt, but we'll see. It's day one, less than 24 hours. So go ahead and check this out. So in this workflow, I have a few different steps. The first step is that if trigger, right? This is how it all starts. And when you create a new workflow, it starts with this trigger. Now you go to configure step, and chances are you're gonna choose forms, forms. And so you click on forms, and then it lets you pick which form you want, right? So email submitted into the form AI Toolkit series. Remember, I told you if someone comments toolkit, I send them a link to an unlinked page on my website that has a subscribe form specifically to put you into the toolkit workflow, right? After that, it sends them a welcome email. Don't underestimate the value of a welcome email. You want to be welcoming. You don't want to dive right into the information. This is about thanking them for their subscription to your newsletter. It's hugely important. You want to make them feel appreciated because you do appreciate them. I mean, where would you be with content creation if it weren't for your audience? So you do all of this for them, and you should be grateful. And so in my opinion, you send an email immediately thanking them for their subscription, and then you give them a little bit of a break. We don't want to flood their inbox, right? So I have a little bit of a 2-hour wait here in between that welcome email and the first email for that toolkit series. So after that 2 hours, it sends, and here I'll show you what this looks like. You pick the number, and then you pick whether you want minutes, hours, or days, right? After that, you send another email, and this is that first step of the AI toolkit. So you can see how this goes through to create one big workflow and automation that literally you write once, you spend a ton of effort on it, and then you leave, right? Now, one of the ways that I write these emails, right, I have all my information, and this actual AI Toolkit series has more information than my YouTube videos, right? So I'm constantly updating this. This is gonna be the pinnacle of information, right? So yes, I make very valuable YouTube videos, but in between YouTube videos, I learned so much more, and you can't just go back and edit your YouTube videos, right? So there is information here that I've learned since I've made certain YouTube videos that is gonna be more valuable than my YouTube videos. Like, yes, my YouTube videos are valuable, and please keep watching them, but these newsletters and these workflows are gonna give these people a ton of information, and it's gonna be right away. I can also come back here and edit any of this information as I see fit at any time of day, at any time, right? One of the ways that I do this in general though, is I take my script, a certain section of my script, right? You never want to give ChatGPT too much. I know I've covered that in prior videos. And you will say, hey, you know, write me a newsletter for this script, for this series, right? You kind of describe your series. I described the AI Toolkit, said what it is, and then I said, can you give me a newsletter for that? Well, ChatGPT will give you a crap version of a newsletter that is a lot of outlined information. Great, because you have the outline. So now you take that outline and you bring it into another agent, another chat agent, right? The chat agent that I use after I take that outline from ChatGPT is Claude. I put it in there and I say, rewrite this in a more human form. This is the goal of the AI Toolkit, and it's pretty good about picking up everything. And it rewrites it in less of a bullet point, robotic way like ChatGPT. Super great. I take that response, put it into like a Google Doc, and then I edit it to reflect a little bit more of my personality and tone, as well as fix anything that might be like a little bit off. No matter what AI it is, it's gonna be a little bit off, but I always recommend a personal touch on any of these, right? This is the highest quality content that you wanna be putting out. Then you just put it in here in the newsletter under write, and then the details are just the subject line and the preview text, and then you're able to send that out. If you're a little bit more savvy with website design, you can get in here, it's a little bit more detailed with the style. But for me, I want to keep it plain and simple. Maybe I'll change things up later when I have more of my newsletter flushed out, a larger audience, a little bit more time. But for now, I think this is good enough. You want quality over design, in my opinion. So yeah, that is the automations. A lot of potential there. Probably end up having tons of automations based on the content you put out. You know, I might have a different automation for every single YouTube video, right? So I'm gonna have different backlinked pages on on my website, and people will, I'll say, comment whatever to get to this one subscribe form, and it puts you right into an automation. After that, all these people that are in these automations will also be on your general emailing list. So when you send these posts and newsletters to everyone, they'll all get it. So it's not just like they go in the automation and they're excluded from everything else. Everyone's gonna get the newsletters that you send out. Okay, let's go to grow. Referral program. This is huge. The referral program is gonna give subscribers the opportunity to refer your newsletter to another person. Now, the reason why I have one referral is because over the last few years, it used to be like, get 3 referrals, 5 referrals, 10 referrals. You get different bonuses and benefits, and some people even sending physical goods. But it's kind of dwindled over the years. So in my opinion, you want one tangible, attainable goal, which is just a 1 subscriber thing. So if you refer one person, then you get access to these free AI courses. Now, these free AI courses are a little bit different than what I do and talk about. It's not content creation, but they are AI workflows using a ton of different automated tools to create businesses that, these are like 70-page long courses that I spent weeks designing. Ton of information in them, a ton of resources, very valuable, can take you $0 to like $30,000 a month if they're followed correctly. It's not for content creators, but I wanted a way to reward people for referring my newsletter to someone else. And I think that this is a hugely valuable document. All the documents that I put in here are hugely valuable, so that if someone is like, maybe content creation isn't for me, but I do want to start a business, or I'm really good at sales and I don't really like videoing myself, then these are some other things that you can do and absolutely blow up for sure. Recommendations are pretty cool. This is where you choose newsletters, right? So like add recommendation. I can go through and I can search something like automation, and it will show some newsletters that are in the automation space. And I can choose one and then add it as a recommendation. So let's say like the AI automations. Add recommendation. And then it goes here, and it's one of the recommendations that I have. Now, when a subscriber subscribes to your newsletter on the Beehiiv website, it will show recommended other channels, right? The first 3 will be boosts, and I'll go through that in a second, but the rest of them are recommended channels. Well, if someone subscribes to a newsletter from your newsletter, then it shows how many you've referred, right? So let's say AI automations. Everyone loves that one. They keep referring. It will show me as like referred like 20 subscribers to them. Well, then when they see that, they come over here, they see the publications that recommended them, and they say, hey, this guy has sent me a ton of subscribers. I want to send them back to him. And so then you can see it can be like in an organic way as a Beehiiv community to grow each other's newsletters. Tons of potential there, and it's free. Now, the flip side of this is boosts. Remember those first 3 that I talked about? Now, boosts are a way of paying to be in those top 3. Usually it's $2 to $4 per subscriber. So let's say you choose a boost to be one of those top 3, or you choose 3 boosts, right? And someone subscribes to that. Well, then those people are gonna pay you directly for that subscription. It costs $0 for the subscriber. But these people know the value of newsletters, and they'll say, hey, I'll pay you $3.50 for every subscriber that you send to my newsletter. So that is a huge way to make money on the back end completely passively, just by having these boosted people on your subscribe list when a user subscribes to your newsletter. Now, with these ads, this ad market is really, really great. This is a way to get sponsors to place ads in your newsletter without you ever having to talk to anyone. So they'll see your newsletter, they'll see who your demographics are, they'll see your open rate, and then obviously you can give them more information. So they'll see like, oh, hey, this person so-and-so has 20,000 subscribers, their open rate is like 40%, that's pretty good. Let's offer them like 10 grand for an advertisement. And then you can say, hey, look, I have all this other demographic data. I actually want to negotiate up to like 13,000 based on who is my target audience, right? So this is really cool. You never have to talk to anyone if you don't want to. You never have to hop on a phone call or go through some sort of ridiculous like contract or whatever. They pay you right through the Beehiiv app and you take the money down. Another amazing way to get passive income. Now Boost, that's the flip side, right? This is where you apply to be a partner with another newsletter who will pay you, like I was describing earlier. So here in the Grow, in the Boost, that's where you would offer up a certain amount of money, and here is where you would get that money, right? So you would apply to be one of these people's partners, and they would put you as a boost, or you would put them as a boosted newsletter in the top 3 in your recommended newsletter. So this is the money. So you see a lot of $160, $2, $172. I've seen ones as high as $4. So the potential there is pretty huge as well. Paid subscriptions, I personally stay away from. I think that paid subscriptions have a place with someone who has a very long time and loyal customer base, or if they're gonna put like trade secrets into a newsletter form, then they have the possibility to make people subscribe to them, and then they'll drip feed them information over time. Like I said, I don't think you need this. I think you can keep it to free 99, but yeah, it is an option for you if you want to do that. This design is pretty interesting. This is the website and website builder. In my opinion, you don't need to do this. There's a middle tier, which I think is everything that I'm describing right now, you can do on that middle tier plan. It's around, I think, $45. And the website design and website builder plan is, I think, around $100 or $90. So I chose to opt into paying for a separate website. I use Squarespace and then add my forms to that rather than having a website builder. In the future, maybe I'll change it over to having Beehiiv, but for now, I like it separated. It costs me less money, and I love Squarespace. The design is just incredible. It looks so good. The website builder here is a lot more clunky and not as good. So if you're great at website design, sure, build it in here, build it natively in Beehiiv. But if you already have a website, just go ahead and forget about this. Now, that being said, there is a huge upside to this website builder, and that is that you can create a custom app just for your newsletter. So you create an app and a user will get prompted to download the application that is just for your newsletter on the Beehiiv platform. Like I said, that's a top tier plan. I don't think you really need that. That's like starts at like 2,500 subscribers up to like 3,500. So if you're really getting up that high, then maybe this is something you want to look at. Or if again, you're really good at the website building, then you can do it here in the Beehiiv app. Now, another benefit to this is just that every person who subscribes is going to get those recommendations, so the potential for making extra money is there, but for now, I'm not getting a ton of subscribers. I don't have a boost setup. I haven't applied to any of the Boost marketplace. So for me, it doesn't really make sense. But you know, as I create more partnerships and get more of an audience, then it is something that I can do. And then analyze is just standard analytics. So the subscribers, the posts, the clicks, you know, the click-through rate, how many posts you have, whether people are looking at your posts, subscribers report, how many people are subscribing, what channels they're subscribing through, and all that. This is all custom. You can customize all these reports. Basic analytics stuff. Again, in my last video, I talk about how to set up a AI expert who can help you with all this analytics information. You just plug in all the metrics, tell it what it is, and it will give you recommendations, tell you your strengths, tell you your weaknesses, and what you can focus on. So hugely beneficial there. Okay, let's review what we covered. Newsletters have the potential to bring in a lot of revenue for you, most of it being free to the subscriber. The most successful newsletter company sold for $575 million. Create custom content and curate your brand on each platform. Funnel everyone to be a subscriber and grow that subscriber base. Use Beehiiv to automate everything and give your time to creating more content. Don't forget the link below for the discount. Focus on bringing tremendous value to everyone in your digital ecosystem, and then never give up on any of it. You don't need 100,000 followers to make money. You need 1,000 true subscribers who trust you, engage with you, and see you as the go-to expert. A newsletter is how you build that relationship at scale. So if you're serious about content, income, and long-term growth, this is the move. Create your Beehiiv account, set up your funnel, and start building your monetized system today. If you found this video valuable, subscribe to my YouTube channel and my newsletter where I will continue to bring you the most value that I possibly can. Also, hit that notify button to stay ahead of the competition. Thanks again, and good luck as always on your AI journey.